welcome to the Junebug Jamboree. This is gonna be I guess a kind of podcast show. Because I love making YouTube videos. But I take forever to edit a YouTube video. It probably takes me around 2 months to actually edit a YouTube video. Sometimes even longer. And I want to post more YouTube content out there. I work, a full-time job, and I go to school part-time and other responsibilities, so it makes it a little hard for me to try and prioritize YouTube with editing, because that's how long it takes me with my life. But yeah, sorry if I'm sweeping my bangs or moving my bangs a lot. They're at like an awkward length right now where they're like a little too long, but I still want bangs, so I'm just swooping them to the side until I cut them. But yeah. So I make videos on this little Junebug Jamboree. I am going to be, having a little edible then and there. If you can't tell, I love living in California. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of go on about a topic or something that interests me. Oh, wrong side. This is an old hairbrush, but it kind of fell out. It was like one of those antique kind of looking brushes. So you can see like glue residue, but this microphone isn't actually hooked up. I just thought it would like look cute, But yeah, so just, yapping. My co-host right here is Salem. He's a little asleep right now, but that's my co-host. And then I have on my bed my Webkins, because I used to collect them as a kid, and I absolutely love them. I was like obsessed. Like that was one of my first like special interests. Like literally like these are my old childhood, like they got like this sock clothing, that, and so forth. So I have all these. There's some like old Beanie Boos, the ones with the big eyes. So that's kind of like on my bed. Oh my goodness, one of my favorites is this one. I just love the look of him. And then I also got the IKEA alien. And then I got this Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Also, if you can't tell, I've talked about it a couple times. I am on the autism spectrum, and therefore like my voice fluctuates a lot. I've talked about this on my TikTok. I talked about this on my TikTok, which if you guys don't know, I do have a little bit of a following. And I appreciate all of you guys that follow me there. So my voice fluctuates a lot, so sometimes it's really high, sometimes it's really low. If it's lower, that means most of the time I'm like more comfortable. High is when I'm masking. So if you notice, I just realized this because I'm high. But I can like, wait a second, my voice is a little lower, it's more relaxed, it's not like super high pitched, because I was kind of a little out of breath in the beginning. Okay, so we got my co-host and all the stuffed animals out of the way. My outfit for today, it is one of my days off. I'm a full-time tattoo artist, so I work very interesting hours, not hours, have very interesting schedules. So my days off are always scattered, because I don't like having a specific scheduled day. I like work more with like my clients. I'm kind of like newer in the industry. I've only been there for 3 years. So that's what I'm doing right now, but maybe when I'm a little bit in the industry longer, I'll put set days. I don't know, but I don't do that. So today's one of my days off. Tomorrow's another day off I have. But yeah, so I'm in my pajamas. I got a Taco Bell shirt. It's kind of ugly colors, so that's why I wear it to bed. I got the Cookie Monster pajama shorts. I do have shorts on, sorry if it looks like I don't. I don't know if I should. Do you think YouTube would censor it if it looks like I don't have pants on? Question mark. Okay, we're gonna make sure I have pants on, I got some socks on. They are from the hospital, but when I was getting a colonoscopy, because I was having tummy issues like last year. It seemed to have resolved itself, but we'll see. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so like gut issues are sometimes a part of that as well. Frustrating. Okay, so let's get back onto track of what we wanted to talk about today. So I kind of have like, I want to like do maybe quotes or something that I saw that kind of like inspires me to yap about something. I might change it up. This is still such a works. Halloween kitty. Hi, baby. He's like, look at me, mom. Okay, well, he's gonna clean himself, little baby. So today I am inspired by the poem Fig Tree by Sylvia Plath. I did a little research before finding this poem, figuring out who Sylvia is. She is supposedly, I don't know a lot, I didn't do a lot of research, but she was a important like feminist writer, poeter, but also like it was more white feminism, so it seems that she did have some ableism and racism in her history. So I like wanted to make sure that this poem that I really liked, I found it before knowing who the person was. I hope I can kind of like separate the art and the artist with this. Like wanted to talk about this quote because I kind of agreed with it, but also disagreed with it. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. This is my iPad right here. So yeah, I think it's important to like when you quote someone or anything like that, you should like look into them before just like saying, oh, I completely agree with everything they say, therefore. Okay, so I like liked it, but I also didn't like it, you know? And it's just about like accomplishing things and the path in life. Okay, so this is the quote. I'm also dyslexic, so it might take me a little longer to read, but yeah, okay. I'm gonna edit this little part. We're gonna kind of summarize the entire quote. I don't want to read the entire quote because I'm looking through it and some of it is a little weird and I don't know how to feel about it. I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor. And beyond and above these figs were many, many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest. And as I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one they plopped to the ground at my feet. Yeah, sorry, I had to cut out me reading this originally and then rereading it because I actually read a skipped version of this quote. Like it didn't have all of it in it, and there is some like weirdness in it that I don't fully agree with, but I just read the, what's the grammatical term? You know when you add a dot 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 before you, the summarized version of it. You can read the full quote if you want to, but so I kind of like agree and disagree with this. I think this talks about like, you know, all the things you want in your future, in your life, and your accomplishments, like what you want for yourself. And I like do agree, like if you just sit and stare at that tree, all the fruit's gonna, you know, fall down and you aren't gonna be able to accomplish anything you want. But at the same time, it's like you can have more than one fig. Like make a fig fruit punch, you know, make a fig smoothie, get all those figs and eat them together. Like you don't have to have like one goal, one future. You can do a billion things. I consider myself an artist, not just a tattoo artist, because I create art in every sense of the way. And I want to, you know, see a future and a goal in all of those. With, you know, being a tattoo artist is one of them. I'm going to art school right now just to get an overall digital illustration and design degree, but maybe use that with something else. I want to continue doing oil painting, which is what I'm doing right now. I want to make music at some point, make YouTube videos. I want to make YouTube videos, and so much more. And that's just with art, you know? Every aspect of my life, I just want to create. And I don't think that I can do that with just one fig. I think that's multiple figs, and I'll make a whole fig drink out of it. What is it? Not Jamba Juice. Juice, a smoothie out of it. I'll make a fig smoothie. So I agree with, like, if you don't like start now, you never will kind of thing. Like, it's better to plant 10 trees. It was better to plant a tree 10 years ago, but the second best thing is now. Like, doing what you want now. Because I feel like a lot of us are just so scared of trying and failing, because you're gonna fail always, like the first couple times, that we end up just giving up and never trying again, even though we might have an interest in it. And that's why I'm like trying YouTube again, because I've done it like so many times. When I was younger, like I would have a YouTube channel like in elementary school, middle school, high school. I like posted in elementary school, like me drawing like a pastel chibi version of Hatsumiku. In middle school, I would post singing videos of me on the ukulele, because I was that kid. And like in high school, I would like make little vlogs. And now I'm a college student, you know, time has passed, and I still want to make YouTube videos. I still have that like need. I want to. I've been doing it since literally I could. One of my earliest YouTube videos, like ever, I stole my cousin's, like, not computer. I stole his like little, like he like left him. I didn't steal. Why am I saying that? My cousin came over and left his like YouTube account open on his account. He didn't log out. And I like made my first YouTube video that way. I like posted on their account. They were literally like only 1 year older than me, but because like me, my brother, my cousin were all like super close as kids. Like we'd hang out all the time. So yeah, it's just like I've always had an inkling for creating in different ways. And I know like nowadays like content creation is like so oversaturated or so like uncreative in certain ways, and like I just want to create, and I want to have a community of people that like relate to that, you know. And I'm not creating because I want something from people. I'm creating because like I've always been connected to it, you know. I've always wanted to do it, and I've done it in so many different ways. I now do a lot of, I guess, content creation on my Instagram and TikTok. I yap a lot on my TikTok, and I just shit post. I don't really have, you know, a certain outlook. I post whatever. And yeah, I like sometimes post about my dolls because I'm a doll collector. I post about tattooing a lot on there. And I've actually gotten like clients from TikTok, surprisingly. I normally get my clients from Instagram, so that was a really like, huh, I didn't know that. But then my Instagram, secretly, in middle school, I had a witchcraft account because I'm also very into witchcraft, spirituality, and all that. I one time wanted to become like a witchcraft like influencer before influencing was a thing. Like, so I had like in middle school, I had a secret witchcraft account that had around 22,000 followers. But I didn't let anyone know who I was. I was super secretive about it. Which now looking back, like I was kind of bullied in middle school. Like people would like not be the nicest to me. I'm like, people knew. If people knew, I had I guess, I don't know, maybe like people wouldn't have been mean. No, people were just mean. Middle school is the time. But he just like loves like licking his toes. Sorry, I was just like keep looking over and he's so funny. But what was I talking about? But yeah, so I had a secret middle school account about witchcraft, posting witch tips, spells, all that. This was before witchcraft got popular. Because witchcraft got popular because of TikTok. Which is like really cool, but also like I like kind of how it was like gate kept. But I also like now that it's more open, because like that's why I was so secretive in middle school, because like if you told people you were practicing witchcraft, they'd either like think you're crazy or be like super like Christian or conservative about it and like be really like mean to you. So I just like wouldn't tell people. The only person I told was like my best friend at the time. She ended up being really mean. But yeah. I wonder if she ever told my bullies, because like I had a friend group. I don't know if I want to talk about this actually. I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing my years of being bullied in middle school. But sum it up. Me and this girl got really close and we're like best friends in middle school, and then we like started a friend group, and then everyone was kind of like jealous that we were like closer with each other, and therefore like spread like crazy rumors about me, like that were total like lies, and like just to like literally bring me down, and like just lie to people, like lied to a guy I liked, like lied to like my friends, like everyone in middle school, and to like get closer with her and like to hurt me, I guess, and try and like maybe leave the friend group. And I ended up leaving because they it just really messed me up. But yeah, one day like they literally like all made me cry, or specifically this one girl made me cry, and then I like went to the office and like I was just like, she like spread a rumor. She's like, don't you like hate me? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't hate you. Like we got like really really close like recently. I thought, you know, we were becoming closer and friends, you know. She's like, no, you're telling, and then like said another like rumor. I'm like, that's not true. And then that's when I started crying. I'm like, why are you guys like saying all these like mean and horrible things that aren't true? And then I like cried. I went to the office, but she came over and was like trying to apologize to me because she didn't want to get in trouble or whatever. But like no one ever really got in trouble. I just like went to the counselor's office and cried. But years later, during COVID, that girl ended up texting me and apologizing to me for like how she treated me in middle school. None of the other girls did, like, but she did, and I accepted it at the time. But like, I think I'm like maybe now like fully like accepting that apology. But it's just like it still like hurts, you know. Anyways, why was I talking about that? But yeah, it still hurts, you know. It makes it hard for me to like I guess socialize, make friends. I have a good amount of friends right now, and I'm really happy about that. But it made it really hard for me for a very long time. And then in high school, I like found like my best friends, and now I'm a roommate with one of them, and it's great. But yeah. Anyways, so super into witchcraft. The only person I told was my friend. Anyways, so my hair. I hate my bang length. I need to cut it. So yeah, so I had a secret witchcraft account. So I had like 22K followers, and I like was posting on there. Like I would make content forever, but I like would post on there often, a lot, and I like gained a huge following, and then I kind of like got bullied bad and became too depressed to post, and then I just like stopped posting. And then years later I tried to revamp it in high school, and I did revamp it a little, and then the TikTok algorithm changed. And you know, when I was revamping it in high school, it was like right before like Witch Talk became a thing, and even then I remember like posting the first like few early days of Witch Talk, like and so forth. And I kind of like gained a little bit of following that way, but Witch Talk was more of like people showing their face and like talking about witchcraft. And again, I would never show my face in anything, so I was like, how do I make content where you have to show your face without showing my face, you know? So I stopped again, and then graduated high school. I like again like post once in a while, like in that time, like, but I graduated high school, and then while I'm starting college, I got an apprenticeship, and then I revamped it to my tattooing because I also like doing witchcraft incorporated tattoos, so I still kind of incorporate it. I lost a good amount of followers in between that time from being like, you know, inactive to like, you know, like not posting, and then also when I revamped to my tattooing, a lot of people unfollowed me that way. So now I have, I believe, 17k, which is not too bad. And it's weird how different it is now posting versus back then, because back then it was just like all posts and you get like a lot of likes on each post, but now it's more like Instagram reels because TikTok is so popular. I almost had a burp. But yeah, so I've always like done content creating, and I love doing content creating, and I love just creating in general. So yeah, I'm a tattoo artist. That's what I do. So forth. I think I'm gonna turn the heating blanket on. I'm a little chilly. Sorry, turn the heating blanket on because I'm a little cold. So yeah, I agree with this, you know, this poem. I don't know if I fully like it after reading the entire poem, because some of it was, saw like a summarized version. I don't think I like the full quote, but I like the idea that our futures and our goals are on a fig tree, but I don't think it's just one that you have to grab. I think it's as many as you want. But if you don't start, then you know they will rot. But I think you can start at any time, and just do it. You know, have fun, and so forth. So yeah, you know, just do what you want to do, and with the fear of doing something you want to do, um, with the goal or accomplishment of doing something you want to do comes the fear of failing or messing up, or, you know, people laughing at you. But like what I've learned in life and still learning, like the only things that I've ever like was so happy that like I accomplished in myself are things that like I never looked for other people like to like get their like confirmation they liked it. It was only if I liked it. Like when I became a tattoo apprentice, a lot of people in my life were like, I don't know, like I don't know if you should do that, especially with so young. You know, even when I was at the shop, some people are like, oh my god, you're so young. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm young, but this is something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. Like I remember going up to my grandma, like as like maybe like a 10-year-old, maybe younger, and like going up to her and being like, you know what I finally want to do when I grow up? And my grandma's like, what? And I'm like, be a tattoo artist. And then my grandma, she's a little strict. She's like, maybe think of something else. Even though they've always like known I've been into art, like as a kid, like I literally like went to, like I took like school, right? And then I also like went to like not an art school, but like an art class that I would go to. I was very like lucky for my family to do that for me, and they've always supported my art in that way. So yeah, they were all kind of nervous for me to be a tattoo artist or a tattoo apprentice, I should say at that time, because they're just like, the industry's scary and they want to support my art, but like this is something they're nervous about. But I did it anyways because I'm like, I want to. And it's like tattooing has like filled like a love in my heart that like I couldn't even like imagine. also, if there's like little cuts in betweens, or if you hear voices in the background, those are my roommates. But apologies if it is. But it's like filled a love in my heart that like I'm so grateful I get to experience, because not a lot of people get to do that. Like they don't get to find something they like love, and I'm very grateful. And it's like I have this love for this thing, right, tattooing, but it's like that's not the only thing I want to do with my life, you know. I'm really into witchcraft, and I'm really into earth ships and cob houses, and like earth building is a way they would call it, where people make these these houses out of like natural material, and they are like regulated like they regulate their own temperature. They are like mostly recycled materials, and then they also like sometimes recycle the water. Like they collect rainwater, give it to the plants, all this. They like face a certain way to like get more sunlight. It's like that's like the earth ships, and then there's like cob houses and all that earth houses that like take inspiration from that. But it's just like that's what I want to do as well. I have all this love in my heart from like art that I just like need to share it to other people that like can't experience it in that way. And like I guess my brain is like everyone can experience these like happiness of like creativity and loving and all that if we build walkable communities, and we create houses like that. And with those houses comes like plants, and you can access like have like, you know, shareable food and all that. And I just like I want to create that. I want to create like all the world like that, I guess, where everyone's just so connected to each other, so connected to nature, that like they just want to create art and all that and do stuff like that. And that is a goal for me in the future, that maybe one of the biggest figs, so it's hard to eat, I guess, a very big fig that I'm trying to eat, is that I want to I want to like at least live in an earth ship, but I want to share it with other people too. The idea of not being stressed about housing, and to live in houses that, you know, you don't have to pay a lot of bills for, and stuff. Because I think when you don't have to worry about, you know, food, rent, all that, that's like when you can like fully do what you want to do, you know? What brings you like that like heart-filled joy and love, you know? And that's like what I want to create for other people so they can find that, you know, and so forth. But yeah, I think that's kind of like all I wanted to talk about this first little episode. Thank you again so much for watching the first episode of the Junebug Jamboree. I'm your host, Juniper. I don't know if I said that already. Oopsies, I got really into this conversation. This is your co-host, Salem. And I think we're signing off for the night. Thank you so much for watching my first little video on this. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I'm like keep reading like that. Like I don't know, I'm like looking around. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I want to continue this series, but also my life gets busy, so I can't always, you know. But I'm gonna like push for it. This is a fig I'll be eating, I guess. I'm gonna be eating a lot of figs. I actually have never had a fig until like recently. I was over at my partner's grandparents' house, and they have a fig tree, and I ate it. It was so delicious. So I'm like, I need to eat all those delicious figs, you know, in this YouTube channel podcast series. I don't know. It's the start of that. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful night and or day wherever you are. And yeah, bye.